This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know it. I know it. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today is Thursday, May the 7th of 2026. And we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM. And then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big, streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
By the way, somebody said do this.
Today's hottest hits are stacked up and ready to go.
I'm so excited.
I'm ready for this. It's about time.
The vibe shift, it starts now.
Okay, so there you go. The vibe shift starts right now. So let's get you started as we are doing all the fun stuff that we get to do. So how's the last 24 hours or so been for you? Because that's always kind of the way that we should start. Because listen, the most important thing going on at the moment is what's going on between you and I. That's why I say that. Why is that the case? Because listen, we're going to do some things out here over the next few hours. So if you hang out during hour number one, let me explain what's going on. Hour number one is what we refer to as the Rated R Safety Show. We talk about news and we talk about safety. We bring in professional broadcasters. I give you a level of main story. That's hour one, but that's mostly on Safety FM and Radio Big. So we're doing them both at the same time, okay? So we're on both stations. We're not even talking about the video stuff. We're not talking about how the first hour goes directly onto a podcast. We're not talking about how we're streaming across multiple things at once. We're talking only about hour number one. So that's what happens then. Hour two, we go radiobig.fm alone. You and I get to hang out. We play some music. We listen to some gossip that's going on inside of the world of music and entertainment. And there we go. We make a run for it. That's kind of how our day goes. So there you go. What do you think? A lot of stuff going on, that's for sure. So let me tell you, if you want to interact with our show, it's pretty simple to do so. Not a hard thing to do. You go to callinradio.com. Once you get to callinradio.com, that will get you directly into our station. Video, audio, and text messaging are the options. Okay, so you do that, and we just run. Let's run. Baby, let's run. That's just kind of what it boils down to. So I told you a few weeks ago that we would be doing some changes coming up here on the station. You'll start seeing some changes here over the next few days going on the radio station, going on our website. So be on the lookout for that. It definitely will have a totally different look. The only thing is that with the radio station change, I'm not 100% sure that you'll be able to realize it. We are about to double the quality of the stream. Yeah, double the quality of the stream. So you'll definitely sound like you're sitting in here with me, is what it's going to boil down to. So with that nonsense that I just shared with you, so there's that. Why don't we go ahead and do this? I have some friends from Feature Story News. They like to talk. They want to tell you what the hell's going on. I want to tell you what the hell's going on. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and bring in our friends from Feature Story News and go from there. Do we want to start off there? Yeah, let's start off there, and then we'll come back and talk about some of the main news stories that are going on. Okay, so let's do this right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News, I'm Rebecca Bunsen in Mumbai. Iran says a US proposal to end the conflict is still under consideration, amid reports the two sides are making progress towards an agreement. US President Donald Trump has indicated that talks with Iran are progressing, but the president is also warning he will not hesitate to resume attacks. From Washington, Simon Marks reports.
The messaging from the White House today is raising expectations of a possible deal with Iran and keeping the price of oil relatively stable. A top White House official speaking to the website Axios says a one-page memo could be all that is needed to resolve the conflict. And the document sounds eerily like the Iran nuclear deal from which President Trump pulled the United States during his first term in office. The Iranians would agree to a moratorium on uranium enrichment. The US would lift sanctions and unfreeze billions of dollars in Iranian assets, and the US and Iran would slowly end their tit-for-tat naval blockades of the Strait of Hormuz. The White House says it's given the Iranians 48 hours to respond, and with nothing agreed yet, President Trump says he's ready to resume intensive bombing raids on Iran if necessary.
China's top diplomat Wang Yi has called for the swift reopening of the Strait of Hormuz during talks with his Iranian counterpart. The meeting was held just a week before President Trump is due to meet Xi Jinping. Laura Westbrook reports from Hong Kong.
China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi met Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, who was on his first trip to China since the Iran war began. Wang Yi told Araghchi that achieving a lasting ceasefire was an urgent priority, saying it was important to persist with negotiations. He also says Beijing would play a greater role in ending hostilities in the Middle East. US President Donald Trump has acknowledged Beijing's role in the Pakistan-brokered ceasefire in April, and the meeting comes a week before President Donald Trump is set to hold a summit with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Laura Westbrook, Hong Kong.
Vietnamese President To Lam is visiting Mumbai on the final leg of his state visit to India. During his first trip to India since taking office, the president met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi on Wednesday, where both leaders stated their aim to increase bilateral trade from $16 billion to $25 billion by 2030. Ishan Garg has more.
The cornerstone of this was set during President Olam's meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when the two countries talked about linking their payments systems, their online payment infrastructure, along with signing MOUs between the Drug Controller Authority of India and their Vietnamese counterparts, signaling that pharmaceuticals is certainly going to be one industry where India and Vietnam are going to be collaborating together, and to improve the ease of business and also the ease of traveling between the two countries.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, what is going on in US-German relations after Chancellor Friedrich Merz claimed the Iranians are humiliating the United States and enraged President Trump by also suggesting his war on Iran was started without any foundational plan and has no strategy for wrapping up. The US leader responded by announcing the withdrawal of at least 5,000 of more than 35,000 US troops stationed in Germany. Katja Hoyer is a German-British historian and author of the upcoming book Weimar, Life on the Edge of Catastrophe.
Donald Trump is deeply unpopular in Germany, and I think that has had an impact on the wider way in which Germans view America, not least because it's no longer seen as a temporary blip, but actually a kind of structural change of the relationship between Germany and the US. There's always been quite a prominent streak of anti-Americanism in Germany as well, but it was never kind of large enough to form the identity, I would say, or shape the identity of post-war West Germany and then the unified Germany. And that, I fear, has become larger now because of the way that, the US is seen as less interested in Europe and Germany than it had been in the past.
Chancellor Merz is facing significant pushback from opposition leaders in Germany who, picking up on his own critique of the Iran war, say that the only humiliation taking place is that of Friedrich Merz at the hands of the US president. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
Here's the main news again. Iran says a US proposal to end the conflict is still under consideration, amid reports the two sides are making progress towards an agreement. China's top diplomat Wang Yi has called for the swift reopening of the Strait of Hormuz during talks with his Iranian counterpart. Vietnamese President To Lam is visiting Mumbai on the final leg of his state visit to India. And that is the latest feature story news. Rebecca Bunden reporting.
Today's show is brought to you by that one person who says Happy Friday Eve like it's a personality.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
You ever hit the wall, burnout, stressed, or just feeling that everything is piling up and thought, yeah, I probably need to talk to someone? The problem is finding the therapist who actually takes your insurance feels impossible at times. That's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare company that makes mental health care easy to access and actually affordable. They partner with over 100 insurance plans, so the average copay is about $15 a session, sometimes even less. With Rula, you get matched with the right therapist for you, not just whoever's available. Their network has over 15,000 licensed professionals, and you can book an appointment as soon as tomorrow. No wait list, no frustrations, just therapy that works with your schedule and your insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/safetyfm to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked, how you heard about them, please support our show and let them know that we sent you there. That's RULA.com/safetyfm. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. Go to RULA.com/safetyfm right now to get started. That's RULA.com/safetyfm, because you deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, definitely sounds like some risky business, and it's not our business. Is risky business is what it boils down to. Okay. So, some unfortunate news today to share. And I will tell you, this is a man that I have admired from afar for some time, but we have to talk about it because these things happen, and it's the time to do so. So let's do that. Ted Turner, the billionaire media pioneer who founded CNN, has died at the age of 87. Turner, known as the mouth of the South for his outspoken personality, built the media empire that reshaped television, news, and sports. Turner launched CNN in 1980, creating the world's first 24-hour cable news channel. The network became a defining force in global news, especially during major events like the Persian Gulf War. He was named Times Man of the Year back in 1991 for CNN's groundbreaking live coverage. Beyond news, Turner owned multiple cable networks, founded TNT, and for decades owned the Atlanta Braves. He also famously married actress Jane Fonda, with whom he shared a high-profile marriage from 1991 to 2001. CNN CEO Mark Thompson called Turner the presiding spirit of CNN, saying that the network stands on his shoulders and praising his fearless visionary and was deeply committed. So, a lot of stuff there. And let me explain some other stuff that you will not probably hear in some major news outlets. Couple of things here. First off is the world that exists today when it comes to professional wrestling. A big part of it had to do with Ted Turner, because Ted Turner was the one that decided to invest and buy out Strait and create World Championship Wrestling that essentially competed with the World Wrestling Federation, now known as WWE or World Wrestling Entertainment, and had beat them at their own game for 83 weeks straight. And I will tell you, Ted Turner has one of the most interesting audio biographies that I have ever heard in a book format. So it's sad to hear about his passing, that's for sure. I think his book is one of the most interesting books that I've read. It starts off with how much money he claims that he's lost, but he says don't feel bad for him because he still has a lot of money left. Here's a clip that I would like for you to take a listen to.
He changed the news business. I mean, I would go so far, Wolf, as to say he transformed the news business, because when cable came along, we hadn't had, as everybody here now knows, cable didn't exist before CNN. We didn't have 24/7 news. We didn't have international news. And Ted made that happen. It was his dream for the longest time. You all have been discussing it. He was determined, and Wolf, I mean, what people were calling CNN in those early days, chicken noodle news, you know, there's no way he's going to turn this fledgling operation into something significant. And he proved all the critics wrong. I mean, he was the one who literally made it happen. And I was honored to spend the years that I did at CNN.
Okay, so there you go. Definitely some news about the loss that took place yesterday with Ted Turner. So, I mean, I will say this. I mean, Guy kind of revolutionized the way that media was done at the time. And then taking a look around in regards of it, I mean, think about it. Without CNN existing into the format that it was, no other really kind of news station in the way that formatted on the 24-hour cycle would exist currently. So very interesting times. It's kind of interesting because you kind of take a look back at some of the history of some of the stuff that he did. And it's kind of odd that when you look back now, I don't know if I can use the word regret, but it seems like when it came to other things, business-wise, decision-wise, when it came to business, it looked like the merger that he did with AOL Time Warner, I think is what it was called at the time. Not probably the decision that he enjoyed doing in the long run. But definitely appreciate the impact that he did have in the world of the things that were going on at the time. I mean, I will tell you, just kind of amazing overall in regards of what was going on. So let's continue talking a little bit about some other stuff. Let's talk about some other things. Donald Trump paid tribute to the media mogul who died yesterday at 87 while simultaneously criticizing the network Turner founded, CNN. In a Truth Social post, Trump called Turner one of the greatest of all time and a personal friend, but said that Turner was devastated after selling CNN because the new ownership destroyed the network and made woke. He also referenced the proposed Paramount acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery, CNN's parent company, saying that he hopes that the new buyers can restore the network's credibility. So there you go. Let's start talking about some other things real quick as well. President Trump has reignited his clash with the Pope Leo XIV, accusing the pontiff on May the 4th podcast of supporting Iran's nuclear weapon and siding with Iran's ongoing U.S.-Israel war with Iran. The comments landed just 3 days before the Secretary of State, Mark Rubio's visit to the Vatican today, raising the stakes for the administration's first high-level meeting with the Pope in weeks. On the Hugh Hewitt show, Trump claimed that the Pope would rather talk about allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons and said that the pontiff was endangering a lot of Catholics. The remarks followed months of fiction over the war that began on February the 28th with the Israel strikes that killed Iran's supreme leader. Pope Leo responded directly on May the 5th outside of his residence, firmly rejecting Trump's characterization. He reminded reporters that the church has opposed all nuclear weapons for years and said the church mission is to preach peace. He added that the critics should do so truthfully. The feud has been simmering since early April when Trump's Easter Sunday post threatening to annihilate Iranian infrastructure prompted the Pope to call the rhetoric truly unacceptable. Days after Leo posted his disciples of Christ never on the side of those who once wielded the sword and today drop bombs, which led Trump to label him as weak on crime and nuclear weapons. The Pope responded on April the 12th as he has no fear of Trump's administration. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about real quick. So let me ask you a question real quick. Do you have an iPhone? Do you have an iPhone? Not a joke as I ask this question. No, not trying to sell you something. But I want you to hear this. Apple has agreed to pay $250 million to settle claims that it misled customers into buying phones for advertising Siri's AI features that weren't actually available. If approved, it would be one of the largest settlements of Apple's history, offering payouts of $25 to $95 per device. Roughly 37 million iPhones were sold in the U.S. The class action lawsuit filed by Federal Court of San Francisco alleged that Apple promoted soon-to-come advanced Siri features during the 2024 launch of the iPhone 16, even though it upgraded, Siri still hasn't rolled out. Plaintiffs say that the customers wouldn't have bought the devices and would have paid less had they known that the features were missing. The settlement covers iPhone 16 models plus the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Pro Max, purchased between June the 10th of 2024 and June the 10th of 2024 and March 29th. Eligible customers will be notified via email or mail when claims open. So there you go. So let's continue talking. Let's go down a slightly different path real quick. Do you want to take a listen to this real quick? So listen to this. A federal judge has unsealed a purported suicide note linked to Jeffrey Epstein, written weeks before his 2019 death in federal custody. The undated note, which has not been verified, was released on Wednesday by Judge Kenneth Karras after New York Times petitioned the court. Epstein former cellmate Nicholas Tartagliani said that he found the note after Epstein's first alleged suicide attempt back in July of 2019. This is the alleged. Epstein survived the incident but was found dead weeks after at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. The note, complete with typos, includes lines: "They investigated me for months, found nothing. It is a treat to be able to choose one's time to say goodbye. No fun, not worth it. There is no signature, and the authenticity remains unclear." Major outlets, including The Times, CNN, and The Guardian, have published images. The New York City medical examiner ruled that Epstein's August 10, 2019 death is a suicide. He was awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges at the time, and the note release comes as debates continue over Epstein's files and the high-profile names connected to them. So there you go. What do you think? Interesting times. No doubt about that. Take a listen to this one. Popular streamer Clavicular, real name Brandon Peters, is facing a new legal trouble in Florida after live streaming himself shooting a dead alligator in the Everglades. Last month, in a viral clip, the 20-year-old Manosphere figure unloads multiple rounds into an already dead gator, saying that gotta make sure. Yeah, I think it's dead. According to the Miami News Times, prosecutors have charged Peters with illegally discharging a firearm in a public place, a misdemeanor that carries up to 1 year in jail, a year probation, and $1,000 fine. Court documents say that he fired the weapon inside of the Everglades and Francis S. Taylor Wildlife Management Area, violating Florida law. Peters was charged alongside two others, including fellow streamers Andrew Cuban Tarzan Morales. Peters' attorney told TMZ that Peters was simply following instructions from a licensed airport guide, insisting that no people or animals were harmed and saying the full context will clear him. So there you go. What do you think? They say innocent until proven guilty. Isn't that the way that that thing normally goes? I'm just saying. So there you go. There you go. There you go. So here you go. Should we talk about this? Do I want to talk about this? I don't know. Do you know who Hayden Panettiere is? Well, she has come out as bisexual at the age of 36, saying that she spent years feeling pressured to appear perfect and avoid scrutiny. In a new interview with Us Weekly, the Nashville star said that she's finally ready to say it publicly. "I'm comfortable saying that I'm bisexual. I said it. Hayden revealed that she was drawn to women from a very young age and secretly dated them despite constant paparazzi attention. She admitted that she was much more into women but never felt safe enough to fully pursue the relationship because she feared having to hide them. She also worried that coming out earlier would have dismissed her as a fad during the time when women were publicly identifying as bisexual. Her decision to speak openly came while writing her upcoming 320-page memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, which she spent 2 years crafting and releases on May the 19th. Hayden also said that has publicly dated men, including Wladimir Klitschko, which is a boxer, and father of her daughter, Kara, and most recently, Brian Hickerson, whom she split from in 2020 after his multiple domestic violence arrests. She lost custody of Kaya in 2018, but maintains amicable relationship with Klitschko. So hold on, I just want to make sure that I follow this. Brian Hickerson had domestic abuse with the mother of Klitschko's kid. A former professional boxer. Yeah, probably not the wisest decision there, but we'll leave that for a different conversation. So what do you think here? I'm just asking. What do you think about the declaration about her coming out as being bisexual? I don't think there's a problem with it. Whatever. I mean, if that's what you choose to do, that's entirely up to you. Not a problem. But I kind of always have an interesting, I have a hard time understanding this because I never walk into a room and say, yep, I'm straight. I don't understand the thing. I mean, hey, if you like girls, you like girls. If you like guys, you like guys. That's it. I get it. But it becomes confusing to me. I don't understand why there's such an emphasis on it. I've never hung out with straight people where they walk into a room and say, hey, I'm straight. Just weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm on a tangent today. I don't know. Anyways, why don't we give you one more before we get into some of the main stories up? Take a listen to this. President Trump is close to finalizing a major peace framework with Iran that would lift the U.S. sanctions, release billions in frozen Iranian assets, and open the path for a limited uranium enrichment. A structure closely that resembles a 2015 Obama-era nuclear deal that he was long criticized. According to reporting, Trump envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are negotiating a one-page, 14 points memorandum of understanding with senior Iranian officials. The White House believes that the memo could be completed soon, potentially ending the war active phase. If signed, the memo would trigger a 30-day negotiation window to hammer out the broader agreement. Reopening the strait, lifting U.S. sanctions, new limits on Iranian's nuclear program. Key provisions include Iran halting all uranium enrichment for 12 to 15 years with automatic extensions for violations and removing its stockpile of highly enriched uranium from the country. The emerging framework mirrors the Obama deal in several ways, including the same 3.67% enrichment cap, despite Trump's years of attacking the agreement. So there you go. Okay, it's time. It's time to play the game. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Seriously.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay. So let's talk about this because, man, are we in a weird vacuum here in regards of the stuff that is going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's kind of how we look at it. So I want you to think for a moment. Not that you're not thinking. I'm just saying I just want you to think for a moment. Just a briefer. And I want to go over some stuff with you. And I want to go over some of these things that I find kind of crucial. And I want you to think about how we reply to people in the workplace, how we reply to people on the streets, how we reply just in general when it comes to stuff. And you're going like, what the fuck are you talking about this morning? So let me explain here. Have you ever walked down the street and someone smiles at you and you smile back? I mean, it's kind of a common practice. Kind of like the same way that sometimes if you see somebody flip you off, you might in return do the same thing. Don't know why that happens, but it does. But it all boils down to the same thing, which is a level of psychology on that they refer to as dark psychology. It is kind of the way that our brains are programmed to react, counteract, and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, the funny thing is there's so many different forms of what we will call dark psychology for the purpose of having this conversation that we do some very odd things. And a lot of these odd things that occur happen inside of your home, happen inside of your workplace. Now, here's the fun part. When you start taking a look around, in all seriousness, you will realize that unless you're working remote, most of the times that you are awake, you are spending with people that you work with. Think about it. So the impact and the reactions that we sometimes have when it comes to those people have some kind of a psychological force behind it. And what do I mean when I say this? I'm talking about that there are some level of control that occurs with the relationships with the people that you have at work. Now, when I use the term relationship, let's kind of be very careful here. I'm not talking like a sexual relationship. I'm not talking like a romantic relationship. I am talking about the relationship that you have with the people that you interact with at work. And sometimes those relationships can be extremely difficult. They can be one of those things that become very interesting when you're having these interactions. And the reason that I say this is because there are some levels of, let's not call it mind control, but there's little triggers that do occur because on how close knitted some of these people are. Like, you are aware that when you are at a job, you have a group that is considered a clique. This is X clique, that is X clique, this is this clique. We talked about this earlier in the week, guilty by association. But what you start realizing more and more of is that as you go down some of these paths, some of these cliques that form, for some reason, there is some level of control that occurs. And I'm not talking exactly about the people that are your quote-unquote supervisors or managers. I am talking about the people that you work with day to day. I'm talking about the team members. Listen, I can tell you that you can walk into a place, you get to know some people that you work with, and you can say, Joey in this group is the best employee team member that's inside of the whole joint. Because those things happen. Those conversations happen. But then here's the weird part. You can have somebody else that you can look at and say, okay, this is the worst person inside of the whole place. And here is the weird thing. Going forward, because you have put this mental model out there, anytime you have an interaction with this person, whichever end you want to go with of here, you can say this person is the worst person you've ever interacted with, or this person is the best person you ever interacted with. And depending on how they give you a response, good, bad, or indifferent, you will always kind of agree with that, even if they gave you great advice or terrible advice, depending on what end you want to do. Because we have programmed ourselves and these psychological models on what the expectation is. Kind of interesting the same way when you have somebody gaslighting you. Kind of the same way when you have somebody who's love bombing you. I'll use this example relatively quick. But when you establish a new relationship with someone, especially we're going to talk right now about a dating relationship, a romantic relationship, and if the person starts loving bombing you, that they need you, they can't be without you, they're texting you all the time, they're calling you all the time, they want to be around you, blah, 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 and all of a sudden they pull everything away, that's being love bombed. Then all of a sudden now you're questioning on why this person wants nothing to do with you. So what they will do in return is they will start giving compliments. And maybe they'll give a compliment to a third party to see if they can make you jealous in regards of doing this, a version of love bombing. And the funny part is, I'm not saying you're love bombing at work, but sometimes these things happen inside of the work environment. And we have to make sure that we're paying attention to what psychological impact is occurring there. The reason that I mentioned this morning is not for you to fall in love at work, which, depending on the scenario, I think that might be okay. But I want you to think about this. What mental models are you assigning to the people that you work with? And at the end of the day, what impact is it really having on you? And is it a way bigger impact that you're realizing right now? And if you can, will you change anything?
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
You ever hit the wall, burnout, stressed, or just feeling that everything is piling up and thought, yeah, I probably need to talk to someone? The problem is finding the therapist who actually takes your insurance feels impossible at times. That's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare company that makes mental health care easy to access and actually affordable. They partner with over 100 insurance plans, so the average copay is about $15 a session, sometimes even less. With Rula, you get matched with the right therapist for you, not just whoever's available. Their network has over 15,000 licensed professionals, and you can book an appointment as soon as tomorrow. No wait list, no frustrations, just therapy that works with your schedule and your insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/safetyfm to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that we sent you there. That's RULA.com/safetyfm. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. Go to Rula.com/safetyfm right now to get started. That's RULA.com/safetyfm, because you deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns, and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. All about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Okay, here we are, 45 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Thursday. Okay, this right here is Daydream Kansai. That's the name of the song. Artist Go Hawaii. The song's readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Pandora. Always a good time when we are doing our thing. So there you go. So there it is. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse, no doubt about that. So there you go. Anyways, we would like to thank Go Hawaii for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. No doubt there. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that is about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and we want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com, and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, you'll see information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorder, self-injury, suicide, trauma, grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. Gonna tell you, once you get there, it can change everything for you. Not a joke. I always tell people you can go there and say, maybe this information's not for me, and that's perfectly fine. But you never know when you might be able to use this information for someone else, or it might even be something that you need. TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse, no doubt about that. So, even though there's so many different things going on inside of this multiverse that we use, these things are still essential and crucial to talk about. Well-being and mental health is so important. And I will tell you, you play around with this website, there's so many different things. If the Find Help section's not important to you, you can go to the self-care section. I will tell you, you will find stuff on here. All you have to do is just mess around with the website for a little bit. TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. So there you go. Anyways, let's continue talking about this. I know I've been going at it week after week after week after week, day after day after day, but we need to continue to talk about it. We have the Reality Shift Symposium taking place here in good old Orlando, July the 13th. Would love to see you there. We're going to have Nick Weatherly there talking about behavior-based safety. Todd Conklin there talking about human and organizational performance. We'll have a documentary that we'll watch because we're doing this thing at a movie theater. Yeah, you heard me correctly there. And I will be there talking about Signal. Would love for you to come hang out with us on July the 13th here in Orlando, which is a Monday. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you, we have lowered the price of this thing. This way you can have the opportunity to come and hang out. The reason why we're doing this in regards to this price factor is because things are so expensive lately that I figured, hey, we can try this, see what you think before we take it out on the road. So all you have to do is scan that little QR code that's on the screen or go to safetyfm.io. If you don't want to go to safetyfm.io, you go to safetyfm.com and click on the section that says live events. So there you go. All kinds of interesting things as we are going. So would love to see you there. Seriously, it's going to be a good time. Going to be a good time. Definitely some interesting conversations being had. And I have invited some people that you probably wouldn't expect in the crowd. I'll just put it that way. Maybe that's the easier way to word that. So with that being said, I do have some John Smalls waiting in the wing. He wants to talk about the Motivation Minute. I like to feel motivated when John starts talking. So if you're good with this, I'm good with this. Let's get this moving right now. Here's some John Small coming your way.
Courtesy of JaceCaseMedical.com. Today's quote was submitted by Daphne. Jack Welch said, "Change before you have to." I love this. I've worked in the marketing world for over 35 years now. It's so odd to think about all of the things that have changed in that time. I remember when the phone book was one of the biggest competitors we had. Every business was listed in there, and many of them would pay to have a bold listing, or they'd buy a giant ad in the yellow pages. Oh, by the way, do you know why they're yellow? The printer ran out of white paper. That is 100% the real reason. But back to the story. I remember when the internet was new, many marketers scoffed at it. But I do remember one company who was printing phone books, and they started selling internet listings. Many businesses thought it was trivial. Well, now that part of their business is the main part of their business. They still have phone books, but it's like a leaflet compared to the old phone books. The Motivation Minute. This has been the Motivation Minute. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Russia has launched fresh drone and missile strikes in Ukraine, hitting residential areas and a kindergarten in the northeastern city of Kharkiv, just hours after Kyiv proposed a limited ceasefire.
Ukrainian officials say at least one security guard was killed, and several children were among those injured when Russian drones slammed into the kindergarten in the early morning. The attacks came soon after Russia rejected Kyiv's truce proposal and announced its own separate two-day pause tied to its May 9th Victory Day parade. Benjamin Wright reporting.
President Donald Trump has announced a short pause in the U.S. military operation to guide oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, citing progress in a potential deal with Iran.
Trump said the Pentagon would temporarily halt Project Freedom, the naval mission meant to shepherd commercial ships past Iranian threats in one of the world's most critical oil passageways. Analysts say more than 1,000 vessels remain stuck in the region. Chris Anderson reporting.
In Washington, federal prosecutors have indicted the man accused of firing toward a Secret Service agent on the National Mall, wounding a bystander in a chaotic incident that briefly shut down part of the Capitol.
The Justice Department charged the Texas man with several counts, including firearms violations and assaulting a federal officer, after surveillance footage and witness accounts linked him to the gunfire. No other injuries were reported, but the shooting prompted a swift security cordon and a short-lived disruption of pedestrian traffic near the White House perimeter. Jessica Oakley reporting.
A Tennessee sheriff's office is leading a large-scale manhunt for a former Special Forces veteran accused of shooting his wife and fleeing into the rugged woods near Dover.
Stewart County authorities say Craig Berry is wanted on an attempted murder warrant after allegedly firing on his wife during a domestic dispute early Tuesday morning. The woman has since been released from the hospital, and investigators believe Berry changed clothes, grabbed extra ammunition, and disappeared into dense forest terrain. Lawrence Keller reporting.
In Iran, a series of mysterious blasts and explosions have rattled southern coastal cities and military-linked sites, even as Washington signals it may scale back its Epic Fury strike campaign.
Residents in areas near the Strait of Hormuz, including Chesham Island and Bandar Abbas, reported loud booms and flashes in the sky overnight, followed by brief emergency alerts and local confusion. Iranian state media later confirmed that air defense systems engaged unidentified drones. Gary Beck reporting.
Parts of Colorado have seen snowfall totals measured in feet, forcing schools to close, flights to be delayed, and interstates to be temporarily shut down for plowing and de-icing.
The system is also dumping rain and gusty winds across the Dakotas and Minnesota, raising concerns about flooding in low-lying areas as deep frozen ground begins to thaw. Forecast models show the storm shifting eastward over the next 2 days, with cooler temperatures and scattered showers expected to follow into the Midwest. Kyle Norris reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
We are radio. We are sarcasm. We are both combined. Radio Big.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about it. Some things that happened back on this date. Back in 1888, George Eastman patents the Kodak's camera box. Let's see, what else do we got going on? Back in 1947, Kraft Television Theater premieres on NBC. In 1963, Bruno Sammartino becomes the WWF champion. In 1975, President Ford declares an end to Vietnam era. In 1994, Matlock actor Daniel Roebuck, 30, weds Kelly Durst, 24. And in 1996, Martin Lord suffers a nervous breakdown. That happened all back on the dates that I did reference previously. Let's talk about some celebrity birthdays going on today. Thelma Houston turns 80. Billy Crutchman turns 80 as well. Breckin Meyer turns 52. And Mr. Beast, are you ready for this? He turns 28 today. Yep, Mr. Beast. Yeah, he's a very well-known YouTuber known for videos involving large-scale stunts in games. Jimmy Donaldson, just in case you did not know. 28 today. What else? Let's talk about some things that you ought to know. TikTok algorithm push more pro-Republican content to users in 3 key states ahead of the 2024 election, according to a new study published in Nature. Researchers built 300 dummy TikTok accounts located in New York, Texas, and Georgia. Each account was instructed to watch either Democratic-leaning videos or Republican-leaning videos, and then they were tracked. The TikTok recommended accounts for your page or you page. The founder of your platform consistently served more Republican-aligned content regardless of the initial viewing behavior. So there you go. In some other news, the FDA has officially approved a set of flavored e-cigarettes delivering on President Donald Trump's pledge to save vaping. Regulators signed off on the 4 products from Los Angeles-based company Glass, including mango, blueberry, and 2 menthol variants. It's a notable shift since flavored vapes have been the center of years of regulatory battles, as always confirmed political and regulatory reporting with trusted sources. So there you go. Also, in some other news, a federal judge has kept in place the order of blocking the Trump administration from reviewing devices seized during the FBI January raid on Washington Post reporter Hannah Nattison's home. Judge Anthony J. Trenga ruled that the earlier decision requiring the court, not the government, to review the seized phones and laptops for relevant materials was neither clearly erroneous nor unlawful. Nattison's devices were taken as part of a leak investigation involving Aurelio Perez Lugones, a government contractor accused of improperly retaining classified documents. Another judge, William Porter, previously warned that letting the administration review the materials would be like leaving the government fox in charge of the Washington Post henhouse. So there you go.
Duh.
What else do we got? Savannah Guntry made a sudden exit during yesterday's Today Show after about 90 minutes into the broadcast. Savannah co-host Greg Melvin announced that she was done for the day. Savannah had to leave a little earlier, he told viewers, adding that she'll be right back tomorrow, though. No other explanation was given, and Savannah has yet to address the moment on her social media accounts. However, a source told Page 6 that Savannah left for some sort of appointment, and her exit had nothing to do with her mom. Savannah's abrupt exit comes as her mother, Nancy Guntry, remains missing. In some other news, the Trump administration has filed a lawsuit against Colorado, arguing that its state's 2013 ban on large-capacity ammunition magazine violates the Second Amendment. The law was originally passed by the Aurora Movie Theater shooting that killed back in the 12 people. Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser says that the state will vigorously defend the ban. So there you go. Anyways, that's it. At the top of the hour, I'll be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If not, you can hang out here with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and/or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and/or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and/or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.